cascade where you have a bunch of folks that might be on an antidepressant for mood. They might be on something for anxiety, and then they might be on something for sleep as well. So those things combined, the closer they're taken together, the more of a sedative effect that you would end up getting. So you really have to be careful when you're taking multiple medications, and you have to make sure that all the doctors that you might see know exactly what you're taking. So, you could have an endocrinologist for diabetes. You could have an internal medicine doctor that treats most of your other conditions. You could have a podiatrist, and podiatrists can prescribe you antibiotics orally that would interact with several other medications you might be on. So even though you might be being seen for a specific condition and you might not think that there's much of an impact there, we really have to be in the know about what medications that everybody's taking. People who use multiple pharmacies as well, it's one of those things where a patient might get an antibiotic at the emergency room and their pharmacy's closed. So it's sent over to a 24-hour pharmacy, but they don't have the same information that we would have. So I'm not sure if that's been the case with anybody, but I worked at the Rite Aid at Sheridan and Colvin for a while, and they were real close to Kenmore Mercy. So after hours, we would get a bunch of medications sent over from the ER, but we wouldn't really have a background on patients that were using our pharmacy. It's simply that we were the only pharmacy open. So I would try to counsel those patients when they would pick up and say, hey, what else are you taking? Do you have your discharge paperwork? Can I see them, just to keep you on the up and up and try to keep you safe? So drugs of concern, I mentioned a few of them earlier. Benzodiazepines are one of the most common, and they're very effective, but they're also one of the causes of concern. Clonazepam, alprazolam, lorazepam. Hydroxyzine is not a benzodiazepine, but it's very similar. But these increase sedation and greatly increase tolerance. A Z drug, it's called a Z drug because it's a drug like the Z pill, ZZD. Ambien or Zolpidem, Sonata, Lunesta, those all increase sedation, and they're specifically for sleep, but they can also cause rebound insomnia. So if you take it, you might end up going to sleep, then you'll wake up and you'll be drowsy. You might have to go to the bathroom or want to get something to drink, and you're more at risk for a fall at that point, just because of that sedation that you're feeling. Anticholinergics such as Benadryl are used for nausea, motion sickness. A lot of folks take that if they go on cruises especially. Hydroxyzine is another one. They use that for anxiety. They use it for an antihistamine. Those can all increase sedation as well. Antidepressants, paroxetine, sertraline, amitriptyline. There's a ton of them out there. One of those things is they don't know how they work exactly. They know they work on certain parts of the brain. So certain antidepressants are more predisposed to some of that sedation than you would be with others, based on how the clinical trials went. So if you're on any, it's important to talk to the doc, let them know what's going on, let them know if you're feeling anything out of the ordinary. The other thing people don't really think about is diabetes medications can also increase fall risk. Blood sugar diabetes is one of the most prevalent diseases that we have in the United States. And some of the medications can drop your blood sugar pretty significantly. And one of the signs of hypoglycemia or low blood sugar is dizziness, which can lead to a fall. So some of the older medications like glyburide or glimepiride, insulin specifically, the shorter acting insulins, they can drop your blood sugar significantly in a short period, make you dizzy, and make you more at risk for a fall. Most of the insulin that's on the market now is going to be a longer acting, so we don't see the real significant drops in blood sugar. But a lot of the older medications or older school medications that doctors end up using, they can really be of risk just because of the significant blood sugar drop that they might have associated with them. The last thing is blood thinners. So a blood thinner is not going to increase fall risk per se, but a blood thinner is going to increase the likelihood that a fall is going to be a more significant event. So patients that are on warfarin, simply aspirin, clopidogrel, there's newer meds, Eliquis is one of them, Xarelto is one of them, that are once a day or twice a day but don't have monitoring. But anytime a fall occurs with one of those, you can have internal bruising, or if the fall is significant, you could actually have internal bleed. So even if you end up falling and then you feel okay, it's still important to at least let the doctor know. They might want to see you for a physical just to make sure that there is no other damage. They can perform a few exams, palpitations of your belly or wherever the area was that the fall occurred at. The other thing is microfractures too, not associated with blood thinners, but microfractures of the bones can precipitate into more significant events and then end up leading to a fall on their own if it worsens and it's not caught. So any fall should be reported to your medical practitioner if possible, or if you can't get in touch with one, definitely a family member so they can try to set up or assist you. So why are patients on these drugs that might not be the best? Most of the drugs that I listed on here are very effective and they're very cheap. So cost is a big thing. Insurance is not cheap by any stretch, and drug costs, especially for brand names, are not cheap by any stretch. So cost savings, we try to take that into consideration, but we also try to take into consideration if a higher risk medications on board, there might be a higher cost associated with it if there's a hospitalization, that sort of thing. So we do our best to try to minimize costs to you, but also keep your patient's best interest in mind. Another thing patients like to say is, I've been on them forever, so I'm not exactly sure why I should stop. Well, your body changes over time, so even if you've been on something for 15 or 20 years, doesn't necessarily mean that it's affecting you the same way that it used to. Drug tolerance is another thing, so you might need a higher dose of something to have that same effect, but the side effect profile is not change. So if the side effect profile is not changed, that higher dose is going to hit you harder.
I get that as picture too.
You might not feel different, but it increases your risk even more. Patients could be unaware that the side effects are occurring. You might not know that that's a side effect associated with that particular medication. And kind of like the prescribing cascade I was talking about, your side effects are being managed with other treatments. So you get the side effect from a drug, and then it's treated with another drug, which is treated with another drug, and it's a real slippery slope. So that's why we need to, my lighting went off, so you can see me in the dark a little bit. What can you do, or how can we make this a little bit easier? If you have a medication list, any pharmacy can print them out for you. Feel free to ask the pharmacist, hey, I need a medication list of the past 6 months, and they can print them out real time. We can give them to you right in the pharmacy. Any pharmacy has that capability. The common side effects of medications that you're taking. So when you start a medication, you could ask the pharmacist, hey, I'm starting this. I'm not familiar with it. What should I watch out for? Kind of goes hand in hand with monitoring for side effects. If you know what to look out for, then you'll know if it's occurring in you, and you can talk to the doctor about that as a side effect instead of something that is a new condition you don't know where it came from. The big thing these days is medication therapy management. Most insurances allow for medication therapy management sessions in which a pharmacist or doctor, they'll sit down with you for a half hour or an hour, and we'll run through your medication list. We'll let you know, hey, this is what it's used for if you couldn't remember. Are you missing doses? How can we make the medication a little bit more manageable for you? Maybe that's changing the med to something else that's once a day instead of twice a day. We'll develop a medication action plan based on if you're having side effects, or based on cost of medications, based on if something's not suiting you, or if your insurance is changing coming up in 2 months and it's not going to be on your formulary anymore. We can find something else that will be on formulary for you that will have a similar effect. The one thing I forgot to mention when we're talking about drugs of concern is most folks are on blood pressure medications, myself included. Blood pressure meds can actually increase the dizziness when you're changing posture. So whether that's going from sitting to standing, or laying to a sitting to a standing. So your body normally changes pressure at that time. And if you end up on a blood pressure medication, especially the first few weeks, your body's getting used to it, you're going to notice more of a drop. So I'm sure it's happened to everybody, but if you stand up too quickly, you get that starry-eyed, or like the black or the white out. And that's related to your blood pressure dropping when your posture changes. So in that case, we just caution folks to take their time when they're changing from a sitting to a standing or a laying to a sitting to a standing. And it's something that your body does get used to after a while. This is just a comic about kind of the absurdity of the prescribing situation we're going through. So a patient's on something to treat something, then they get another med to treat something, the prescribing cascade. And it just goes to show, that's pretty much healthcare in a nutshell these days. The downside is doctors don't have as long these days to talk to patients or spend on that with them one-on-one. So we encourage folks to reach out to the pharmacist. We have all the time in the world to help you out. Use the medication therapy management that your insurances might provide, that sort of thing. And while we're on the topic of falls, it's not medication related, but environmental things that can make an impact are just having inadequate lighting in the house. If you have throw rugs or area rugs, slippery floors if you just wash them, uneven pavement outside on the sidewalks, and then the cords for lamps and electronics you might not think about, but they can, I have 2 little ones at home, so things are all over all the time. And I've definitely taken a spill in my house just because I didn't see something that they might have put there. So those are just some things to watch out for and easy environmental things to look out for if, you guys are looking to make some easy changes. So I don't really have much more as far as an actual formal presentation. So if you guys have questions, feel free to just type them in chat and then we can go from there. If you want to hit on anything else specific or if you have any other pharmacy-related issues, I can try to work through them with you. And again, I apologize for the delay in hopping on. I appreciate everybody's patience. And these days, too, I'll just do a plug for delivery. Most pharmacies do deliver. So with the weather coming up in winter, there are treacherous roads and ice all over the place. Feel free to utilize the delivery services that your pharmacies offer instead of having to go out there. When we had my child, my wife and I, we were at home, especially with the COVID pandemic hitting. So we actually utilized our pharmacy over here a few times for delivery. So it's a service that not a lot of people know about or utilize, but most of the time it's free and it's definitely beneficial, especially during the more unsightly weather, as they say.
Looks like we have a question from Donald.
So I would say laminate floor is probably better, but it depends on it really depends on if you put the shellac on them, as they say. Laminate, you just want to clean usually with water, and you don't want to use the cleaning product on it. At least that's what we do at my house, just because the cleaning product can kind of sheen it up. So as long as you're not using cleaning product on it, I prefer laminate.
Anybody else have any other questions? Everybody's muted right now. So if you have a question, you can just enter it in the chat message, and then I can unmute you. You can ask it if you like. Okay. All right. Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you coming on and speaking with us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And hopefully next time we do this, we could do it in person. Definitely more comfortable in person than I am through the computer, but you got to work with what you're given, so.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate everyone working with us today. It was definitely an interesting morning on our end, trying to get everything up and running. So if everybody wants to stay on, I do have a few videos to show. We're going to do Richard's exercise video, and then we have a message from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I will begin to share that content now. Does anybody else have any? If nobody has questions, then we'll go ahead and move forward from there. So thank you again, Anthony. We appreciate it.
All right, I'll sign off. You guys have a good day, and if you need to reach out to me at any time, feel free.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, just bear with me for a minute, please, folks, and we will start a little video here for you.
Good morning. My name is Doreen Russo. I'm with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, and I have your fall prevention tip of the day for you. Today I want to talk to you about speaking up. Going ahead and talking to someone that you trust, your physician or your pharmacist, about things that may be bothering you. I know you had some time this morning hearing from a pharmacist talking about medication safety and making sure that your list of medications has been reviewed for any problems that you may feel you're having or for any potential problems. If you have a new prescription, something where that's changed and you're feeling a little tired or dizzy, those are kinds of things that you may want to ask about with the new prescription. But there are other times that I want to encourage you to go ahead and speak to someone that you trust. If you've taken a fall already, that's a good time to bring it up to your physician and make sure that you look at what caused this, what was involved, why it happened. It's a little bit like an investigation, and as the saying goes, two heads are better than one. To sit down and talk to someone about what happened and how this can be avoided in the future. The same thing if you're feeling a little bit unsteady and you haven't actually fallen, but maybe you've got some dizziness or you're just not feeling right on your feet. There's also a problem with numbness in your feet or legs, or if you have some swelling there, you may feel like you're not walking as comfortably as you could. And that's a good thing to take to your doctor and to discuss with him about what may be changed or what precautions or wisdom he has for you. I wanted to talk to you, too, about things that you may have in your closet tucked away. Sometimes there's a cane that was recommended for you years ago, or even a shower chair or something like that you decided you don't enjoy, you don't want to use, and you put away. And I'm just going to ask you to step back for a minute and think about that. Think about why you're not using it, why it was recommended, and whether or not it might be worth the time to sit down and talk to your doctor about what options there are. Maybe having a little more education about how to use that cane will make you more comfortable with it. Or maybe there's a different design for something that you have in your home that you're not currently using that'll work a little better for you. So I want you to think a little bit about what you have and how you can make it a little better for you. When you talk to your doctor, there's the possibility, especially if you've taken a fall, and especially if you've been hurt in that fall, that you may be able to have someone come out to the home and help you with safety evaluation. Take a look at what's there and what can be tweaked to make you just that much safer in your own home. So the tip of the day today is to speak up for yourself. Talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist, talk to a son or daughter, someone that you can just, two heads are better than one, figure out the problem, and find some solutions. No safety or no accident.
Okay, that was our tip of the day from Doreen Russo. And I have one more video to share. You will not be disappointed with this one for sure. Just hang with me for a minute here. Erie County's own Richard Dearwald.
Hi, welcome to the Erie County Club 99 Fall Prevention Workout. Today we're going to be using latex bands. Let's get to it. For today's Club 99 workout, you will need a stable kitchen chair or a stable folding chair. Now back to Mr. Fitness. Just a little refresher for us here. Remember, you wrap the band around and get a good grip on it. You don't want anybody losing your grip on this band. Again, you wrap it around just once, so we're like this. Look at the hands, we wrap it around. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to take the band, I'm going to put it underneath my feet. I'm going to put my feet close together, just like this. We're going to do 2 exercises in this position. Okay? The first exercise is for our upper arm, the biceps. We're going to bring the band up, and then let it back slowly. Up, and let it back slowly. Okay? One big thing here, I need your help on this. I'm going to have to count. Let's start. We're going to do 15. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Feel that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, stay right there. Keep your feet on the band. What we're going to do now, a lot of people do that rolling is a great exercise, and I can do it. So, now, when in the house, we're going to roll, just like this. Roll up. Back slowly. Let some resistance on it. Got it. Keep that band tight on your hands. We don't want to step you back on it. Okay? We're not going to count on this one. We're going to sing it. Okay? So let's all get together. Guess what we're going to sing? Roll, roll, roll your boat. You're kidding, right? No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. No. Everybody in your seat? All right. All sing together. Ready? Roll your boat gently down the stream. Merry, 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 merry. Life is gonna be. Again. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merry, merry, merry. Life is gonna be. Again. Roll backwards. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Sorry about that thing. That's the best we can do. This is a low-budget production. The next couple exercises I'm going to show you are not just related to Van Constantino, but I'm reminded of about maybe a year ago. A woman came into the center and said, I'd like to take the Club 99 class. The only problem is I do have a balance problem. I'm a little worried. I told her, look at it. We can do some of the exercises needed, and I'm going to show you something that I hope will help you with the balance problem. She came back to me about 6 or 7 weeks later. My God, I cannot believe it. I can go up the stairs so much easier. I'm not afraid to walk around anymore. I can get it out of my house anymore. Well, what is this magic? What are they? I'm going to show you right now. The first one is a leg press. You take the band, you put it underneath and lock it in to our arch. Back, here's our hands holding it up. Your hands are not going to move. Only your leg moves. And we press it straight out. And we're going to do 15. So let's all start counting. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. Excellent. Obviously, we're not done. We have 2 legs. You got to do it on the other leg. Makes no difference which leg you start with, the right or the left. You just got to do it both. Let's go back to the same 12. Hands up. Get it up high. Get it up high. We're going to press straight out. And don't do this. Keep your hands stationary. We're going to push straight out. And we're going to start now. So start counting. 1, 2. Excellent. 3. All right. 4. Feel that? 8. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. exercise I'm going to show you is an exercise that I think a lot of people haven't done in years. My question to you is, when was the last time you rode a bicycle? Just fine. Right now you can ride a bicycle without even leaving the safety of your home. Now using this band. With the band again, like we did for the leg press. Bring it up like we did for the leg press. That's it. We're going to ride the bike. 15. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ride it. 8. Feel it? 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Ride the bike. Home exercise. Riding a bicycle. Riding the same great exercise. The same great benefit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm really heartened by the response that we got from the first video we produced on the Club 99 workout. So many people, and I'm so happy that so many of my friends at all the centers throughout Erie County are using this video to continue their Club 99 workouts. So much so that I'm really, really motivated to keep on making these videos for you, so you can stay safe and stay fit.
Okay, everyone. Well, I just want to thank you for joining us today. And if you were interested in joining our Club 99, it's at local senior centers throughout Erie County. So you can give us a call at 858-8526. That's the Stay Connect, Erie Stay Connect number, and it will direct you to us, and we can tell you where Club 99 is closest to you. So I just want to say thank you for joining us today, and we will hope to see you for the remainder of the week, same time, same place. Does anybody have any questions for me? I can unmute everybody. I'll do it one at a time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. All right.
It took a while, but I made it.
I know, I appreciate it. We had technical difficulties all over the place today, so thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's will be better.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.